In this audiobook, we will explore proven strategies to help you stay grounded, no matter what comes your way. You'll learn how to control your reactions, simplify your life, guard your mental space, and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. These aren't just ideas, they are practical tools you can start using today to create lasting inner peace. Chaos is inevitable, but losing yourself in it is not. Together we'll build a calm mind and a strong spirit. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop fighting what you can't control. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when we least expect them. You wake up with a plan for your day, maybe even your week, and then out of nowhere something happens. A job falls through, someone you trusted disappoints you, the car breaks down, or an unexpected bill shows up in the mail. It's frustrating, it's stressful, and it's easy to feel like life is out to get you. In those moments, our natural instinct is to fight, to push back, to try to control everything and force life to go the way we want. But here's the truth. The more you fight what you can't control, the more exhausted and chaotic you become. Think about a river. When you stand in a rushing current and try to push against it, you get knocked down, scraped and battered. But when you learn to move with the flow, you conserve your energy, and you stay upright. Life works the same way. Chaos often comes from our resistance, not the situation itself. When something happens that you cannot change, no amount of anger, worry, or frustration will undo it. All that energy simply drains you and clouds your judgment. This doesn't mean you give up or stop caring. It means you recognize the difference between what is yours to change and what is not. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control how you respond. You can't stop the storm from coming, but you can prepare your home and your heart for it. When you stop fighting the uncontrollable, you gain a new kind of power, the power of focus. Instead of wasting energy on battles you can never win, you invest it into areas where you can actually make a difference. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with heavy rocks. Each rock represents a problem you can't fix, someone else's choices, the past, the economy, the weather. As long as you keep that backpack on, you're weighed down. But the moment you set it down, you feel lighter, freer, calmer. That's what happens when you stop fighting reality. You take the weight off your mind and your spirit. So the next time life surprises you with something hard or unfair, pause, breathe. Ask yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. Let go of the need to fix, to force, to fight. Shift your attention to what you can influence, your attitude, your actions, your choices moving forward. This practice isn't easy at first. It takes awareness and repetition, but with time, you'll find yourself responding to chaos with clarity instead of panic. You'll realize that peace doesn't come from controlling everything around you. It comes from mastering yourself. When you stop fighting what you can't control, you make room for calm to grow, even in the middle of life's storms, and that's where true strength begins. Chapter 2. Build a solid morning ritual. How you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. Think about it. Have you ever woken up late, rushed to get ready, skipped breakfast, and then found yourself frustrated with traffic, snapping at people, and feeling overwhelmed before noon? That's no coincidence. When your morning begins in chaos, that energy tends to follow you like a shadow. On the other hand, when you begin your day with calm intention and focus, you create a shield that helps you handle whatever comes next. A solid morning ritual isn't just a nice idea, it's a foundation for staying calm when life gets chaotic. Your mornings should be a time to center yourself before the world tries to pull you in 1,000 directions. Too many people wake up and immediately reach for their phones. Before they've even taken a breath, they're checking messages, scrolling through social media, or reading stressful news headlines. This floods the mind with noise and distraction before the day even begins. Instead of starting on offense, they start on defense, reacting to everything around them. No wonder they feel anxious and scattered. The first step in creating a calm morning is to claim the first part of your day for yourself. Even if it's just 20 or 30 minutes, this time is sacred. During this window, you focus on activities that ground you, strengthen you, and prepare you mentally for the day ahead. This might include quiet reflection, prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply sitting with a cup of tea in silence. The goal isn't to fill the time with endless tasks, but to set a tone of peace and clarity. One powerful element to include is movement. It doesn't have to be an intense workout, though if that's your style, go for it. It could be stretching, yoga, or a short walk. Physical movement wakes up your body and helps release stress before it builds. It's like giving your mind a head start by energizing your body first. When you move, you send a message to yourself that you're ready to face the day with strength. Another key part of a solid morning ritual is gratitude. It's easy to wake up thinking about what's wrong, what you don't have, what went wrong yesterday, or what you're worried about today. But if you start your morning by focusing on what you're thankful for, you change your entire state of mind. This doesn't have to be complicated. You can simply think of 3 things you're grateful for while you're brushing your teeth, or you can write them down in a journal. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it gives you perspective. It reminds you that even on hard days, there is good around you, and let's not forget about setting intentions. Before you dive into work or responsibilities, take a moment to ask yourself, what matters most today? When you set a clear intention, you train your mind to focus on what's truly important, instead of getting lost in distractions. This keeps you calm, because it gives you a sense of direction. Even if chaos shows up later, you'll know what to return to. Here's the thing, your morning ritual doesn't need to look like anyone else's. You don't have to copy someone's exact routine. What matters is that it works for you and brings you peace. Maybe you read a few pages of a book that inspires you. Maybe you spend a few minutes deep breathing. Maybe you sit in stillness and watch the sunrise. The specific actions are less important than the consistent habit of starting your day with intention rather than reaction. At first you might be tempted to skip it. Life will get busy, and you'll think, I don't have time for this today. But here's the truth, on the days you feel like you don't have time, that's when you need your morning ritual the most. Just like a pilot checks their controls before takeoff, you need to check in with yourself before you fly into the day. Without that preparation, you risk getting caught in turbulence you could have avoided. As you build this habit, you'll notice something incredible. The chaos around you won't magically disappear, but it won't shake you as easily. When a difficult conversation happens, you'll respond with more patience. When a problem arises, you'll handle it with clarity instead of panic. Why? Because you already started the day with calm and control. You set the tone, and now you carry that tone into everything you do. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, take a deep breath. Claim that first part of the day for yourself. Even 10 minutes can make a difference. Over time, those minutes will add up to a calmer mind, a stronger spirit, and a life that feels less chaotic, no matter what happens outside of you. Your morning is your chance to build the peace you want to carry through the rest of the day. Don't waste it. Chapter 3. Breathe before you react. In moments of chaos, our natural instinct is to react. Someone says something hurtful, and we snap back without thinking. A problem shows up at work, and we rush to fix it while our heart is racing and our mind is spinning. Life throws a surprise our way, and suddenly we're overwhelmed, angry, or afraid. This is how most people move through life, constantly reacting to whatever happens around them. But here's the problem. When you react instantly, you're not in control. Your emotions are. And when your emotions are in control, calmness disappears, and chaos takes over. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to break this cycle is so basic that most people overlook it. Just breathe. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But the truth is, your breath is a built-in tool for calmness. It's always with you. You don't need special equipment or the perfect setting. In any stressful moment, you can take control of your breath, and by doing so, you take control of your mind. When you're stressed or angry, your body reacts first. Your heart beats faster. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing becomes shallow and quick. This physical state tells your brain, we're in danger, even if there's no real threat. It could just be an argument with someone you love, or an email from your boss. But your body treats it like an emergency. That's why you feel like you need to do something immediately. You feel the urge to yell, argue, send that angry text, or make a rushed decision. Here's where breathing comes in. When you pause and take a slow, deep breath, you send the opposite message to your brain. You're telling yourself, I'm safe, I'm in control. There's no need to panic. In just a few seconds, your heart rate begins to slow, your muscles start to relax, and your mind clears. It's like hitting the reset button on your nervous system. This creates a small but powerful gap between the situation and your response. And in that gap, you regain your calmness. Think of it this way. Chaos pushes you to act fast, but calmness invites you to act wisely. Taking a single breath doesn't magically solve the problem in front of you, but it gives you the space to choose how you want to handle it. Instead of reacting out of anger or fear, you respond with intention, and that makes all the difference. Let me give you a simple practice. The next time you feel overwhelmed or upset, try this. Stop whatever you're doing, and inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 4. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. Do this 3 times. That's it. In less than a minute, you'll feel your body calm down, and your mind clear. This is a powerful tool you can carry anywhere, at work, at home, even in the middle of a heated conversation. Now this isn't just about breathing techniques, it's about what breathing represents. It's about slowing down when life tries to speed you up. It's about remembering that you have a choice, even in stressful situations. Too many people live on autopilot, letting their impulses and emotions dictate their actions. They spend their days cleaning up the messes created by their reactions. But when you take a breath before you respond, you break that cycle. You become the person who stays calm when everyone else is losing their head. Think about the leaders you admire, the people you consider wise or strong. Chances are, they don't rush into decisions or let anger control them. They pause, they observe, they choose their response carefully. That level of composure isn't just natural, it's trained, and it often starts with something as simple as a deep breath. This practice will take time to master. In the beginning, you might still react too quickly sometimes. That's okay. Every time you catch yourself and remember to breathe, you're strengthening your ability to stay calm under pressure. Over time, this will become your default state. So the next time life throws chaos your way, remember this: you don't have to react right now. You have a moment, you have a breath. Use it. Pause, inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Then once you've regained your balance, choose your next move with clarity and intention. This small habit will make you unshakable in situations that once would have rattled you, and that's how you start turning chaos into calm, one breath at a time. Chapter 4. Simplify your life. Simplify your mind. Chaos in life often begins with chaos in the mind. And chaos in the mind often comes from one thing: we're simply trying to juggle too much. Too many commitments, too many possessions, too many notifications, choices, and distractions pulling at us from every direction. When life feels complicated, it's easy to feel like you're drowning, even when nothing is technically wrong. The truth is, calmness thrives in simplicity. The more you simplify your life, the more room you create for peace, clarity, and focus. Think of your mind like a desk. When that desk is piled high with papers, old coffee cups, tangled cords, and random junk, you can't focus. Even finding a single pen becomes stressful. But when the desk is clear, everything feels easier. You can breathe, you can think. The same principle applies to your life. When there's too much clutter, physical clutter, mental clutter, emotional clutter, it becomes nearly impossible to stay calm. The first step to simplifying your life is to be honest with yourself about what truly matters. Many of us say yes to too many things because we don't want to disappoint anyone. We overcommit to social events, projects, responsibilities, and even toxic relationships. But every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. If you want calmness, you have to learn to let go. That might mean saying no to a request, stepping back from a draining relationship, or even quitting an activity that no longer serves you. It's not selfish, it's survival. Physical clutter plays a bigger role than we realize. Your environment affects your emotions. When your home, workspace, or car is filled with mess and disorder, it signals chaos to your mind. Start small. Clean one drawer, clear one corner of a room. Donate clothes you haven't worn in years. As you physically simplify your surroundings, you'll feel a surprising sense of mental relief. It's like giving your brain permission to relax. Digital clutter is another hidden source of stress. Think about how many notifications, emails, and messages you get in a single day. It's constant noise, and it pulls your attention in 100 directions. Turn off non-essential notifications. Unsubscribe from emails you never read. Organize your files and folders. Make technology work for you, not against you. When your digital world is calmer, your inner world becomes calmer too. But simplifying isn't just about cleaning and organizing. It's also about simplifying how you think. Overthinking is a form of mental clutter. You replay past mistakes, worry about future problems, and analyze every possible outcome. This creates inner chaos. A simple life requires a simple mindset. Instead of obsessing over 10 possible scenarios, focus on the one thing you can do right now. Simplify your decisions by asking yourself, what matters most in this moment? When you reduce your thinking to clear, actionable steps, your mind feels lighter. Time is another area where simplification creates calmness. Many people live in constant busyness, rushing from one thing to the next, without ever stopping to breathe. They mistake being busy for being productive. But busyness is often just chaos in disguise. Look at your schedule and ask, what can I eliminate? What can I delegate? What can I delay? Freeing up even an hour a day for rest or reflection can dramatically improve your sense of peace. Here's the beautiful thing about simplicity. It multiplies. When you simplify one area of your life, it creates a ripple effect. Cleaning your home gives you the mental clarity to simplify your schedule. Simplifying your schedule gives you the time to simplify your relationships. Slowly chaos begins to fade, and calmness takes its place. Remember, simplicity doesn't mean having nothing or doing nothing. It means creating space for what truly matters. It means choosing depth over distraction, quality over quantity, and clarity over confusion. When life feels overwhelming, Don't just try to handle the chaos, reduce it. Ask yourself, what can I remove? What can I release? Every item you let go of, every unnecessary task you cross off, every toxic habit you replace with a healthy one, it's like clearing another piece of clutter off that messy desk in your mind. The result, a simpler life, a calmer mind, and a version of you that moves through the world with grace instead of stress. Simplicity is not just a lifestyle choice, it's a pathway to lasting inner peace. The less you carry, the farther you can go. Chapter 5. Guard your mental space. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you allow in will grow. If you plant seeds of peace, focus, and positivity, your inner world will flourish. But if you let in weeds, negative thoughts, toxic influences, endless noise, chaos will take over before you even realize it. The truth is, most people spend so much time protecting their physical possessions, locking doors, securing their phones, guarding their money, yet they leave their minds completely unprotected. They let anyone and anything dump garbage into their mental space. If you want to stay calm in a chaotic world, you must become a fierce protector of what you allow into your mind. Think about the last time you felt anxious or overwhelmed. Was it because of something that directly happened to you, or was it because of what you consumed? Maybe you scrolled through social media and saw bad news or someone else's perfect-looking life. Maybe you overheard negativity at work, or spent time with someone who constantly complains. These things seem small, but they add up. Every word you hear, every image you see, every story you tell yourself, it all shapes how you feel. If you don't set boundaries, your peace will be stolen piece by piece. Guarding your mental space starts with awareness. Pay attention to what drains you. Notice how you feel after certain conversations, certain shows, or certain environments. If you always leave feeling heavier, that's a sign something is invading your mental space. This isn't about being judgmental or cutting people off completely. It's about recognizing what you can and can't handle, and being honest with yourself about the cost of exposure. One of the most powerful boundaries you can set is with information. We live in a world of constant updates, news alerts, texts, emails, videos. While some of this information is useful, most of it is just noise. It keeps your mind buzzing and distracted, never able to fully rest. Try limiting your exposure. Turn off non-essential notifications. Choose specific times to check the news or social media instead of letting it flood your day. You'll be amazed at how much calmer you feel when you control the flow of information rather than letting it control you. Another key area is relationships. Some people bring light into your life, while others bring storm clouds. You probably know exactly who I'm talking about. These are the people who constantly complain, gossip, or criticize. Being around them feels like carrying a backpack full of bricks. You leave heavier than when you arrived. You don't have to cut these people out entirely, but you do need to manage how much access they have to you. It's okay to say no to certain conversations, limit your time with them, or simply change the subject when negativity takes over. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Guarding your mental space also means being intentional about what you let in. Just like you wouldn't eat junk food all day and expect to feel healthy, you can't feed your mind junk and expect to feel calm. Start adding more positive input. Read books that inspire you. Listen to uplifting podcasts or music. Surround yourself with people who encourage you and challenge you to grow. The more good things you put in, the less room there is for chaos to grow. Here's something important to remember. You are always training your mind. Every day, with every choice, you're either strengthening your peace or strengthening your stress. When you choose to protect your mental space, you're telling yourself, I deserve calm, I deserve clarity, I deserve control over my inner world. That choice becomes a habit. And over time, that habit becomes who you are. It won't always be easy. There will always be people, news and distractions trying to pull you into their storm. But you don't have to step into every storm you're invited to. You can choose to stay rooted, to stay calm, to stay clear. Remember this, the world will always have chaos, but whether that chaos lives inside you, that's up to you. Guard your mental space like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your peace is precious. Protect it fiercely. Chapter 6. Pause. Don't panic. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. You're going about your day, feeling like everything is under control, and then, boom, a phone call brings bad news. A sudden expense wipes out your savings. A conversation turns into an argument you didn't see coming. These moments can make your heart race, your stomach drop, and your mind spiral. Most people, when caught off guard like this, go straight into panic mode. They rush to fix things, they lash out, they make decisions out of fear, and later, when the dust settles, they often regret the choices they made in those moments of chaos. But here's the thing, panic never leads to clarity. It only adds more chaos to an already difficult situation. If you want to stay calm when life gets messy, you need to practice the opposite of panic. You need to pause. A pause might seem small, almost too simple to matter, but it can completely change the outcome of a situation. Think of a pause like a reset button. When you pause, even for a few seconds, you create space between what happened and how you respond. That space is where your power lives. It's where you can take a breath, calm your body, and think clearly. Without that space, you're just reacting on instinct, and instinct, when fueled by fear or anger, rarely leads you where you want to go. Imagine you're driving, and someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first impulse might be to yell, honk, or chase them down. That's reaction. But if you pause, even for 2 seconds, you give yourself the chance to realize, this isn't worth my peace. I can let this go. The same principle applies to every area of life. Someone sends you a rude message. Pause before replying. A mistake happens at work. Pause before blaming someone or defending yourself. A financial emergency pops up. Pause before making a hasty decision that could make things worse. Pausing doesn't mean you ignore the problem or avoid taking action. It means you act with intention instead of impulse. It's about choosing your response rather than being controlled by emotion. Sometimes, all it takes is one deep breath to shift from chaos to calm. Here's a simple technique you can use. When something unexpected happens, silently count to 5 before you do anything. 5 seconds might not seem like much, but it's enough time to calm your body and interrupt the cycle of panic. During those 5 seconds, focus on your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose, then exhale through your mouth. This signals to your brain that you are safe, and it clears the fog so you can think clearly. One of the greatest benefits of pausing is perspective. When you're caught in the middle of chaos, everything feels urgent. It feels like you must solve the problem right now. But most of the time, that urgency is an illusion created by stress. By pausing, you give yourself the chance to step back and ask, is this really as big as it feels? What's the smartest next step? That moment of reflection can save you from hours, days, or even years of regret. Think about some of the biggest mistakes you've made in your life. Chances are, they happened because you reacted too quickly. You sent the text you shouldn't have sent. You quit the job in anger. You made a purchase you couldn't afford. What if, in those moments, you had paused instead? What if you had given yourself even a minute to breathe and think? The outcome might have been completely different. The more you practice pausing, the more natural it becomes. At first you'll have to remind yourself. You might even catch yourself after you've already reacted, and that's okay. That awareness is progress. Over time you'll start to notice the moment between trigger and response, and in that moment, you'll find you're calm. Life will always have surprises. Some of them will be wonderful, and some will knock the wind out of you. You can't control the timing or the circumstances, but you can control how you meet them. Panic will push you to act fast and think small. A pause will help you slow down and see the bigger picture. So the next time chaos shows up at your door, don't rush to react. Take a breath. Count to 5. Remind yourself that you are stronger than the situation. When you pause, you don't just survive the storm. You guide yourself through it with wisdom and grace. And that's how you turn panic into power. Chapter 7. Master the stories you tell yourself. Life isn't just about what happens to you. It's about what you tell yourself about what happens to you. Two people can go through the exact same event and have completely different experiences, not because of the event itself, but because of the story they create in their minds. The story is what gives meaning to the moment. The story is what shapes your feelings, your decisions, and ultimately your future. If you want to stay calm when life gets chaotic, you must master the stories you tell yourself. Here's what most people don't realize. Your mind is constantly narrating your life. It's like a never-ending inner voice, describing everything you see, hear, and experience. When something goes wrong, that voice doesn't stay quiet. It jumps in with a story. Maybe the story sounds like, "This always happens to me. Nothing ever works out." Or maybe it says, "I'm not good enough. This is proof I'll never succeed." Those stories can feel so real that you accept them as truth. But here's the thing, they're not always true. They're just interpretations, often shaped by fear, past experiences, or old wounds. Think about the last time someone didn't return your call or reply to your message. The event itself was simple. A message went unanswered. But your mind probably didn't leave it at that. It likely spun a story. They must be upset with me. Or they don't value me. Or even I must have done something wrong. Suddenly you're anxious or angry, not because of what actually happened, but because of the story you told yourself about it. This is how chaos grows inside of us. Something small happens, and we create a dramatic negative story around it. The more we repeat that story, the more real it feels, and the more it shapes our mood and behavior. That's why mastering your inner storytelling is so important. If you can control the narrative, you can control your peace. The first step is awareness. You can't change a story you don't notice. Start paying attention to the thoughts running through your mind when something stressful happens. Pause and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Maybe you'll realize you're assuming the worst, jumping to conclusions, or catastrophizing. That awareness alone can create space between you and the story, giving you a chance to choose a better one. Once you identify the story, challenge it. Ask, is this true? Do I have proof? Or am I just guessing? Most of the time, you'll find that your story is based on assumptions rather than facts. For example, if someone cancels plans, your mind might say, they don't like me anymore. But is that really true? Maybe they just had a long day, or a family emergency. By questioning your story, you take away its power to control you. The next step is to rewrite the story in a way that serves you instead of sabotaging you. This doesn't mean lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing a perspective that keeps you calm and clear. For instance, instead of thinking, everything is falling apart, you might reframe it as, this is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity to grow. The event hasn't changed, but the meaning you give it has, and that changes how you feel and how you respond. Think of this like being the author of your own life. If you don't consciously write your story, someone else, or your fears, will write it for you. When chaos strikes, you have a choice. You can let your mind spiral into panic, or you can step back and say, I get to decide what this means. That decision is where true calmness begins. Here's a simple practice to try. When something difficult happens, write down the facts of the situation in one sentence. Then write down the story you're telling yourself about it. Finally, write a new empowering story you'd like to believe instead. This process helps you separate reality from interpretation and gives you a tool to reshape your mindset. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns. Maybe your default story is one of self-blame, or maybe you tend to see every setback as permanent. Whatever your pattern, once you see it, you can change it. Life will always have unexpected twists and challenges. You can't control every event, but you can control the story you tell yourself about it. And when you change the story, you change the outcome. Master your inner storyteller, and you'll discover a calmness that no amount of chaos can touch. Chapter 8. Stay present. When the world is spinning, when life gets chaotic, our minds tend to do one of two things. They either race ahead into the future or spiral backward into the past. You start worrying about what might happen, replaying worst-case scenarios in your head, or you dwell on what already happened, picking apart every mistake or every moment you wish you could change. And while your mind is busy living everywhere except here and now, the present moment slips through your fingers. This is one of the main reasons chaos feels so overwhelming. It's not just what's happening around you, it's the storm inside you. Here's the truth. Calmness lives in the present, not in the past, not in the future, right here, right now. When you anchor yourself to the present moment, even if the world feels like it's spinning out of control, you create a space of peace within you. The chaos might still be there, but it doesn't have to own you. Think about this. How many of your stressful thoughts are about things that aren't even happening right now? You worry about what someone might say. You stress over a bill that's due next week. You replay a conversation from yesterday, wondering what you should have said. Most of the suffering we feel isn't caused by what's happening in the moment. It's caused by our mind living anywhere but the moment. Staying present is about gently pulling yourself back. It's not about forcing your mind to be blank or perfect. It's about noticing when you've drifted into the past or the future, and choosing to return to now. You can practice this in small ways. One powerful tool is your senses. When you feel your mind racing, pause and ask yourself, what do I see right now? What do I hear? What do I feel? Naming these things grounds you in your body and the current moment, like an anchor in a storm. Another simple practice is focusing on your breath. Your breath is always here, always happening in the present. When you pay attention to each inhale and exhale, you naturally calm your mind and bring yourself back to center. It's hard to panic about next week's problems when you're fully focused on taking one slow, deep breath right now. Being present also means accepting this moment for what it is. That doesn't mean you have to like it. It just means you stop fighting reality. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, getting angry won't make the cars move faster. If you're waiting for test results, obsessing won't make them come sooner. When you accept what is instead of resisting it, you free up energy that can be used for clear thinking and wise action. You can also use presence in conversations. When someone is talking to you, truly listen. Don't think about what you'll say next, or replay something unrelated in your head. Just listen. People can feel when you are fully present with them, and it creates calmness in both of you. In chaotic times, your presence can even become a gift to others. a steady force that brings comfort and stability. Here's something important to understand. Staying present doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It simply means you don't live there. You plan for the future, but you don't let it steal your peace. You learn from the past, but you don't let it define you. The present moment is where your power is. It's the only place where you can take action, make choices, and truly experience life. Think of a spinning top. When it's in motion, everything around the edges is a blur, moving fast and wild. But at the very center of the top, there is stillness. That's what staying present feels like. The world might be spinning, but you've found the center. You've found calm. This skill takes practice. At first you'll catch yourself drifting 100 times a day. That's okay. Each time you notice and return to the moment, you're building strength. Over time, staying present will become your natural state, even in difficult situations. Life will never stop throwing surprises your way. The world will always have noise, speed, and chaos. But when you train yourself to stay anchored in the present, you stop getting swept away. You become like that calm center of the spinning top, steady, clear, and unshaken. And from that place of calmness, you can face anything life brings, one moment at a time. Chapter 9. Protect your energy from chaotic people. No matter how calm you become, no matter how grounded you feel, there will always be one thing that threatens to pull you back into chaos: other people. The truth is, not everyone around you will share your commitment to peace. Some people thrive on drama. Some people live in a constant state of negativity. And some, whether they mean to or not, will drain your energy every time you interact with them. If you don't learn how to protect yourself, their chaos will become your chaos. You've probably experienced this before. Maybe you started your day feeling great, calm, focused, ready to take on anything. But then you had one conversation with a certain person, and suddenly you felt tense, frustrated, even angry. It's like they handed you their storm, and you carried it with you for the rest of the day. This isn't just about difficult personalities, it's about energy. The people you spend time with have a powerful influence on your state of mind. That's why it's so important to guard your energy, the same way you guard your health or your finances. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after being around different people. Do you feel lighter, encouraged, inspired, or do you feel drained, heavy, and unsettled? Your body and emotions will tell you the truth, even if your mind tries to ignore it. This awareness isn't about judging others or labeling them as bad. It's about being honest about what you can and can't handle. Once you've identified the people who bring chaos into your life, you have choices. In some cases, you may need to create physical distance. That might mean limiting how often you see someone or even ending a relationship that's harming your well-being. This can be difficult, especially if the person is a family member or someone you've known for years. But remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can care about someone and still choose not to let their chaos control your life. Of course, there are situations where you can't completely avoid a chaotic person. Maybe they're a coworker, a boss, or someone you live with. In those cases, boundaries become your best defense. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut people out. They are guidelines that protect your mental and emotional health. A boundary might sound like, "I can't have this conversation right now," or "I need some time alone to recharge." It might also mean deciding what topics are off limits, or how much personal information you choose to share. When you set boundaries, some people won't like it. They may resist or push back, especially if they're used to having unlimited access to your time and energy. Stay firm. You don't need to explain or defend your boundaries to anyone who refuses to respect them. Your calmness is worth protecting, even if others don't understand. Another powerful way to protect your energy is to stay neutral in other people's drama. Chaotic people often want you to take sides, join their arguments, or solve their problems. Don't take the bait. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to carry their emotional baggage. Practice being a calm observer rather than a participant. You can listen without absorbing their stress. You can care without becoming consumed. It also helps to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Think of it like balancing your energy. If you must interact with someone who drains you, make sure you spend extra time with people who recharge you. Positive, supportive relationships act like a shield, strengthening you against the effects of negativity. And here's an important reminder. Sometimes the most chaotic person in your life might be you. Your own thoughts, habits, and reactions can create inner chaos that spills over into your interactions with others. Protecting your energy isn't just about managing external influences. It's also about taking responsibility for the energy you bring into the world. At the end of the day, you can't control how other people behave. You can't stop them from being dramatic, negative, or unpredictable. But you can control how much access they have to you. You can choose to stand firm in your peace, no matter how stormy they become. Remember this, you are not required to attend every argument you're invited to. You are not obligated to absorb anyone else's chaos. Your calmness is your responsibility. Guard it like treasure. Protect it fiercely, because when you protect your energy, you don't just keep yourself grounded, you become a source of calm for everyone around you. And that kind of strength has the power to change the atmosphere, even in the midst of chaos. Chapter 10. Create order through small daily wins. When life feels overwhelming, it's tempting to believe you need one big dramatic solution to fix everything. You think, if I just landed the perfect job, if I just moved to a new city, if I just got rid of all my problems at once, then I'd finally feel calm. But here's the truth. Lasting calm doesn't come from one big event. It's built, piece by piece, through small, consistent actions you take every single day. Chaos often grows because things are left unmanaged. The little tasks pile up, the unread emails sit in your inbox, the bills sit unpaid, the conversations you've been avoiding linger in the back of your mind. One by one, these small things create a sense of pressure and disorder, and even if nothing huge is going wrong, the weight of it all leaves you feeling stressed and scattered. The way out of that cycle is not to tackle everything at once. It's to create order through small daily wins. These are simple actions that bring structure and stability to your day. They might seem small on their own, but when repeated consistently, they build incredible momentum. Think of your life like a messy room. If you look at the whole mess, you'll feel overwhelmed and do nothing. But if you commit to cleaning one corner today, then another tomorrow, eventually the entire room transforms. The same goes for your mind and your life. Start by identifying a few small areas where you can take control. It might be making your bed each morning, taking 5 minutes to plan your day, or setting aside 10 minutes to clear clutter from your workspace. These actions are about more than the task itself. They send a powerful message to your brain. I am creating order. I am in control. Morning rituals are a great example of a small daily win. When you wake up and complete a few intentional habits, like stretching, journaling, or reading something inspiring, you set a tone of calm and clarity for the rest of the day. Even if the world throws challenges at you later, you'll have that strong foundation to return to. Another powerful area to focus on is your physical environment. External chaos feeds internal chaos. If your home or workspace is cluttered, it's harder to think clearly. You don't need to do a full deep clean all at once. Instead, spend just 10 minutes a day organizing one drawer, one shelf, or one small area. Over time, those tiny wins add up to a space that feels peaceful and supportive. Your relationships can also benefit from small daily actions. Maybe you've been avoiding a difficult conversation. Instead of letting the tension build, take one small step, send a thoughtful message, ask a simple question, or schedule a time to talk. Little gestures of communication and care can prevent emotional chaos from growing out of control. Here's something important to remember. Small wins are not about perfection, they're about progress. There will be days when you don't get everything done, when life throws curveballs and your routine gets disrupted. That's okay. The goal is not to have a flawless day. The goal is to keep showing up, even in small ways, to create order and stability. Over time, these small wins compound. Like drops of water filling a bucket, they gradually create a sense of control and calm that no single big action could ever give you. You'll start to notice that problems feel less overwhelming because you've built the habit of taking action instead of avoiding them. This approach also changes how you see yourself. Every small win is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. When you follow through on even the tiniest commitments, you build trust with yourself. You start to see yourself as someone who can handle life, no matter how chaotic it gets. Think of a ship sailing through stormy waters. If the captain panics and tries to turn the ship all at once, it capsizes. But if they make small, steady adjustments, they can navigate through the storm safely. Your life works the same way. Small, steady actions keep you moving forward, even when the world feels like it's spinning out of control. So don't wait for a perfect day or a massive breakthrough. Start today with one simple win. Make your bed, drink a glass of water, clear a single item off your to-do list. These actions may seem small, but they are powerful. They are proof that you are creating order, step by step, moment by moment. And with time, those small daily wins will build a life of calm, clarity and quiet strength, even when chaos comes knocking at your door. Chapter 11. Think long-term. Act short-term. One of the biggest reasons chaos takes over our lives is because we're always reacting to the immediate moment. We get caught up in the crisis of the day, the drama of the hour, or the problem right in front of us. When you're always reacting, you lose sight of the bigger picture. It's like driving through a storm and staring only at the raindrops on your windshield instead of focusing on the road ahead. No wonder you feel stressed and scattered. You can't see where you're going. To find calm in a chaotic world, you need to learn a powerful balance. Think long-term, but act short-term. That means keeping a vision of where you want to go while focusing only on the small, manageable steps you can take today. It's a mindset shift that changes everything. Let's start with thinking long-term. Life gets overwhelming when you don't have a sense of direction. Without a bigger picture, every challenge feels like the end of the world. But when you have a vision, when you know what you're working toward, you can see problems for what they really are. Temporary obstacles, not permanent disasters. Thinking long-term gives you perspective. A setback today is just a bump on the road, not a dead end. Imagine building a house. If you only look at the pile of bricks in front of you, you'll feel frustrated and lost. But if you have a blueprint, you understand how each brick fits into the bigger plan. Life works the same way. Your goals, dreams and values are the blueprint. They remind you why you're doing the work and help you stay calm when things don't go perfectly. But here's where many people get stuck. They think long-term but try to act long-term too. They set huge, overwhelming goals and then expect themselves to achieve everything at once. This creates pressure, stress, and eventually burnout. That's where the second half of this principle comes in. Act short-term. Acting short-term means focusing only on the next step. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to know exactly how the entire journey will unfold. You just need to ask yourself, what's the next right move I can make right now? Then do that, and nothing more. Let's say you're facing financial chaos. Thinking long-term, you might have a vision of being debt-free and financially stable in 5 years. That's your blueprint. But acting short-term, your focus today might simply be creating a realistic budget or paying one bill. That small action moves you closer to your vision without overwhelming you. Or maybe you're trying to heal a relationship. Long-term, you imagine trust and closeness restored. Short-term, you focus on one honest conversation, one kind gesture, or one apology. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't stare at the peak the whole time. You just take the next step, then the next. This balance between long-term vision and short-term action brings incredible calmness. It keeps you grounded. When life feels chaotic, you can zoom out and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Then you zoom back in and take one simple step forward. You stop trying to control the whole storm and focus only on steering your own ship. Here's a practical way to apply this. At the start of each week, take a few minutes to think long-term. Reflect on your bigger goals, values and dreams. Write them down if it helps. Then each day, choose 3 small actions that move you toward that vision. These are your short-term steps. By the end of the week, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made, without the stress of trying to do it all at once. This approach also helps when emotions are high. In moments of stress, our minds tend to exaggerate. We convince ourselves that one bad day will ruin everything, or that one mistake defines us forever. When you think long-term, you see beyond the immediate moment. You realize, this is just one chapter, not the whole story. That perspective alone can calm your nerves and help you make wiser decisions. Remember, chaos thrives in confusion and urgency. It feeds on that frantic feeling of needing to fix everything right now. But when you step back, breathe, and focus on the next small action, you take back your power. You become the calm in the storm. So hold your long-term vision close to your heart. Let it guide you like a lighthouse in the distance. But don't get lost staring at it. Keep your eyes on the ground, on the next step, on what you can do today. Think big, act small, and you'll find peace, even in the midst of life's wildest chaos. Over time, those small steps will lead you exactly where you want to be, one calm, steady move at a time. Chapter 12. Speak less, listen more. In a noisy, chaotic world, everyone seems to be talking, but very few are truly listening. Think about it. Most conversations today are like battles, with people competing to be heard rather than seeking to understand. When chaos is swirling around you, the natural instinct is to talk more, to defend yourself, to explain, to argue, to prove your point. But often, that only adds fuel to the fire. One of the most powerful ways to bring calm into your life and the lives of those around you is surprisingly simple. Speak less, listen more. It may sound too easy, but it's a skill that requires strength, patience, and practice. And when you master it, you'll notice a dramatic shift in how you experience conflict, stress, and relationships. Here's why this works. When emotions are high, words are dangerous. Once they leave your mouth, you can't take them back. You've probably had moments where you said something in anger or frustration, only to regret it later. In the heat of the moment, talking feels like relief, but later it often creates more problems than it solves. By speaking less, you give yourself space to think before you act. You avoid saying things that could escalate a situation or damage a relationship permanently. Listening, on the other hand, has a calming effect, both on you and on the other person. When you truly listen, you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. You're fully present, giving the other person the gift of your attention. This alone can diffuse tension. Most people aren't used to being deeply listened to, so when they feel heard, they naturally become calmer. There's another benefit to listening. It gives you information. When you listen carefully, You understand what's really going on beneath the surface. You notice the emotions, fears and needs driving someone's words or actions. This clarity helps you respond with wisdom rather than impulse. You're no longer just reacting to what's being said. You're responding to the deeper truth of the situation. Silence is a powerful tool here. Many people are uncomfortable with silence, so they rush to fill it with chatter. But when you allow space in a conversation, something magical happens. The other person often reveals more than they intended, or they begin to reflect on their own words. Silence creates room for truth to emerge. It also signals strength. When you don't rush to speak, you show that you are in control of yourself and the situation. Speaking less doesn't mean you never share your thoughts or feelings. It means you choose your words carefully. You speak with intention rather than out of habit or emotion. Before you respond, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to be said by me? If the answer to any of those questions is no, it's often best to stay quiet. This principle is especially powerful during arguments. In heated moments, people often talk over each other, raising their voices and trying to win. But arguments are rarely won through shouting. They're won through understanding. If you can stay calm, listen deeply, and speak only when necessary, you'll often guide the conversation to a resolution, while the other person burns out their energy. Practicing this skill also brings inner calm. When you listen more, you shift your focus away from your own racing thoughts. You become an observer rather than a reactor. This creates a sense of grounding. You're no longer swept up in the noise. You're standing apart from it, steady and clear. Consider how this applies to everyday life. At work, listening more helps you understand challenges before jumping to solutions. At home, it deepens your relationships and prevents misunderstandings. Even in moments of chaos, a calm listener stands out as a source of stability. People naturally trust and gravitate towards someone who listens rather than competes for attention. In a world full of constant talking, listening is an act of quiet rebellion. It's a way of saying, I don't need to add to the noise. I choose peace. The less you speak, the more powerful your words become when you do choose to use them. And the more you listen, the more you'll see the truth beneath the surface of situations that once felt confusing or overwhelming. So the next time chaos surrounds you, resist the urge to jump in with more words. Take a breath, stay quiet, listen deeply, let others speak while you observe and understand. When it's finally time for you to talk, your words will carry weight, clarity, and calmness. And that calmness has the power to transform even the most chaotic conversations into opportunities for connection and peace. Chapter 13. Turn challenges into training. Life will never stop challenging you. Just when you think you've reached a calm, steady place, something happens, a setback, a disappointment, a loss. Chaos doesn't knock politely before it enters. It barges in, often at the worst possible time. Most people see these moments as punishments or bad luck. They get stuck asking, why me? Why now? But there's another way to look at challenges, one that can completely change how you experience them. Instead of seeing them as enemies, you can see them as training. Think of life as a gym. Every problem, every stressful situation, every unexpected obstacle is like a weight being placed in front of you. At first it feels heavy, it hurts. You might not think you can handle it, but when you face it and work through it, you grow stronger. Just like lifting weights builds your muscles, overcoming challenges builds your resilience, your patience, and your inner calm. When you adopt this mindset, chaos stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like preparation. Suddenly, that difficult coworker isn't just a source of frustration, they're a test of your communication skills. That financial setback isn't just a disaster, it's an opportunity to become smarter with money. That heartbreak isn't just pain, it's a chance to deepen your understanding of love and boundaries. The challenge doesn't change, but the meaning you give it does. The key is to shift your focus from, why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me? That one question changes everything. It puts you back in control. Instead of feeling like a victim of your circumstances, you become a student of life. Every chaotic moment becomes a lesson, every setback a classroom. You start to see how even the hardest experiences can serve you, if you're willing to learn from them. This doesn't mean challenges are easy, or that you have to pretend to enjoy them. Growth is often uncomfortable. Think about working out. Your muscles burn, you sweat, you struggle. It's not pleasant in the moment, but you know it's making you stronger. Life works the same way. When you're in the middle of chaos, it's okay to feel the discomfort, but if you can also remember that you're training, you'll keep moving forward instead of giving up. Here's a powerful example. Imagine two people lose their jobs on the same day. The first person spirals into panic. They think, my life is over, I'll never recover. The second person feels the same fear at first, but then they pause and ask, what is this training me for? Maybe it's teaching them resilience. Maybe it's pushing them to finally start the business they've been dreaming about. The situation is the same, but the perspective is completely different, and that perspective determines who grows and who stays stuck. You can apply this mindset to small, everyday challenges too. When someone cuts you off in traffic, it's training for patience. When a conversation gets heated, it's training for emotional control. When your plans fall apart, it's training for flexibility. Every moment of frustration can become a moment of growth, if you choose to see it that way. One practical way to strengthen this habit is through reflection. At the end of each day, think about the most difficult moment you faced. Then ask yourself, what did that experience teach me? How did it help me grow? This simple practice trains your brain to automatically look for lessons instead of just problems. Over time, you'll start to notice yourself responding to chaos with curiosity instead of fear. Here's the truth. You can't avoid challenges. Life will always test you. But you can choose how you meet those tests. You can let them break you, or you can let them build you. When you see every challenge as training, you take back your power. Chaos no longer controls you. You control how you use it. So the next time life feels heavy, remember this, you're in training. Every obstacle is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and calmer. With each challenge you face, you're building the muscles you need to handle even greater storms. And one day you'll look back and realize that the very things that once made you feel like giving up were the same things that prepared you to rise. Chapter 14. Design your environment for peace. Staying calm isn't just about what's happening inside your mind, it's also about what's happening around you. Your environment has a powerful influence on how you think, feel, and behave. If the space you live and work in is chaotic, cluttered, or noisy, it becomes almost impossible to maintain a calm inner state. On the other hand, when your surroundings are peaceful and supportive, they naturally help you feel centered and focused. The truth is, you can't expect to feel calm while living in an environment that constantly fuels stress. Think about how you feel when you walk into a messy room. Even if you don't consciously notice it, your brain is taking in every piece of clutter, the clothes on the floor, the papers piled on the desk, the dishes in the sink. Each item sends a tiny signal to your mind. This needs attention. This isn't finished. It creates a low-level anxiety that lingers in the background, draining your energy. Now compare that to how you feel when you walk into a clean, organized, and peaceful space. It's like taking a deep breath. Your body relaxes. Your mind feels lighter. That's the power of environment. The good news is, You have more control over your environment than you might think. You don't need a perfect house or a fancy office to create peace. You just need to be intentional about what you allow in your space and how you design it. Start by decluttering. Chaos in your surroundings leads to chaos in your mind. Go through one area at a time, a drawer, a shelf, a corner of a room, and remove anything you don't need or lid. You'll be amazed at how freeing it feels to let go of physical clutter. Next, think about the sensory experience of your space. What you see, hear, and smell all affect your mood. Natural light is calming and energizing, so open the curtains or add a soft lamp to create warmth. Consider using calming colors, shades of blue, green, or earth tones that promote relaxation. Sound matters too. Constant noise, like a loud TV or nearby traffic, can keep you on edge. Try using soothing background music, white noise, or simply creating moments of silence in your home. Even scents play a role. A candle, essential oils, or a fresh breeze through the window can create a sense of calm you can actually feel. Digital clutter is another piece of the puzzle. Our devices bring the outside world into our environment 24/7. Notifications, endless news updates, and social media noise can turn a peaceful space into a mental battlefield. Take control of your technology. Turn off unnecessary alerts. Create no-phone zones in certain parts of your home, like the bedroom or the dining table. Designate specific times to check messages so you're not constantly pulled away from the present moment. Your environment also includes the people around you. Even the most beautifully organized space can feel tense if it's filled with conflict or negativity. Have honest conversations with the people you live or work with about creating a more peaceful atmosphere. This might mean setting boundaries about noise levels, shared responsibilities, or even how arguments are handled. Peaceful relationships are just as important as peaceful spaces. Don't forget to create a special area that's just for you, a corner or spot where you can recharge. It doesn't have to be big or elaborate. Maybe it's a chair by the window with a cozy blanket, or a small desk where you journal and reflect. This space becomes a physical reminder of your commitment to calmness. Whenever life feels overwhelming, you can go there to reset and reconnect with yourself. The way you design your environment sends a message to your subconscious mind. If your space is chaotic, the message is, life is out of control. But if your space is orderly and calming, the message is, I am safe, I am centered, I am in control of myself. Over time, this shapes how you show up in the world. Remember, your environment won't change overnight. Start small. Clear one surface today, add one peaceful element tomorrow. Little by little, you'll create surroundings that support your inner calm. When life gets chaotic, you need a sanctuary, a place where you can retreat, breathe, and recharge. By intentionally designing your environment for peace, you give yourself that sanctuary every single day. And when the world outside feels loud and messy, you'll know you have a space that reminds you of who you are, calm, strong, and unshaken. Chapter 15. Choose calm every day. Calmness is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It's not a single moment of peace that magically lasts for the rest of your life. Calmness is a daily choice, a practice you commit to, moment by moment, day after day. Just like you have to eat every day to stay nourished and exercise regularly to stay fit, you have to choose calm consistently to keep it alive in your life. Here's the truth. Chaos will always be there. There will always be people who push your buttons, problems that come out of nowhere, and situations that feel completely out of your control. You can't eliminate life's storms, but you can prepare yourself to face them with strength and grace. Calmness isn't about waiting for the world to settle down. It's about learning how to stay steady, no matter how wild things get around you. Think of calmness like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it might feel difficult. You'll catch yourself reacting to stress, getting swept away by anger, or falling into old patterns of worry. That's okay. Growth takes time. What matters most is that you keep coming back to the practice. Each time you pause, breathe and choose calm instead of chaos, you're strengthening that muscle. Over time, what once felt impossible will become natural. Start each day by setting the intention to be calm. Before you check your phone or dive into your to-do list, take a quiet moment to remind yourself, today, I choose peace. This simple statement acts like a compass, guiding your actions and reactions throughout the day. When challenges arise, and they will, you can return to that intention. It will remind you that while you can't control the situation, you can control your response. Pay attention to your triggers. Everyone has certain things that immediately stir up stress or frustration. Maybe it's a certain person, a recurring problem, or even a specific time of day when you tend to feel overwhelmed. Instead of avoiding these triggers, prepare for them. Decide ahead of time how you want to respond. For example, if traffic usually makes you angry, choose to use that time to listen to an audiobook or practice deep breathing. If work emails stress you out, set boundaries around when and how often you check them. Planning ahead allows you to meet chaos with calm rather than being caught off guard. It also helps to build calming habits into your daily routine. Think of these as anchors, simple practices that keep you grounded, no matter what happens. This might include meditation, journaling, reading something uplifting, spending time in nature, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea. These small rituals send a message to your mind and body. I am safe, I am centered, I am in control of myself. Over time, they become powerful tools that help you reset quickly when life feels overwhelming. Another part of choosing calm is forgiveness, both for others and for yourself. Holding on to anger, grudges, or regret only feeds inner chaos. Forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of what happened, or that you have to forget it. It simply means you're releasing the heavy burden of carrying it with you. Letting go creates space for peace to grow. Remember, choosing calm doesn't mean you never feel strong emotions. It's not about being numb or detached. It's about feeling deeply without being consumed. You can acknowledge sadness without drowning in it. You can experience anger without letting it control your actions. Calmness gives you the power to hold your emotions like waves, allowing them to rise and fall while you remain steady beneath them. Some days will be harder than others. There will be mornings when you wake up already feeling behind, conversations that test your patience, and moments where everything seems to go wrong. On those days, choosing calm may feel like the hardest thing in the world, but those are also the days when it matters most. Every time you choose calm, you are shaping your future. You're teaching yourself that you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are in charge of your inner world, and with consistent practice, that inner calm will begin to ripple outward, affecting your relationships, your decisions, and even the energy of the spaces you walk into. Chaos may be loud, demanding, and relentless, but calmness is quiet strength. It's the steady voice that says, I can handle this. I will not be shaken. You have the power to choose that strength every single day. And when you do, you'll find that no matter what storms rage around you, there is always a place of peace within you, a place no one else can touch. That is the gift of choosing calm, day after day, moment after moment, for the rest of your life. Conclusion. Life will never stop being unpredictable. There will always be unexpected challenges, sudden changes, and moments where it feels like the world is spinning too fast to keep up. Chaos is a part of life, but losing yourself in that chaos doesn't have to be. The power to remain calm has always been inside you. It's not about controlling the storm outside. It's about mastering the storm within. Throughout this audiobook, we've explored powerful ways to create calm in the midst of life's chaos. You've learned how to stop fighting what you can't control, how to design your mornings to set the tone for the day, how to breathe before you react, and how to protect your mental space from outside noise. You've discovered how to simplify your life, master your thoughts, and view challenges as opportunities for growth. You've seen how even small daily wins can build a sense of order and strength. And most importantly, you've learned that calmness isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose, moment by moment. But here's the most beautiful part. Calmness doesn't just impact you, it spreads. When you stay grounded in a storm, others feel it. Your calmness becomes a safe harbor for the people around you. Think about it. When you've been near someone who is steady, centered, and unshaken, didn't it make you feel more at ease too? Your calm has the power to influence your family, your workplace, your community, and even strangers you'll never meet again. That is the quiet strength of a calm heart. This journey is not about perfection. There will still be days when you stumble, when you react instead of responding, when life feels too heavy. That's okay. What matters is that you return to the practices you've learned here. Calmness is like a muscle. You strengthen it each time you use it. With consistency, you'll notice that situations that once sent you spiraling now barely move you. You'll realize that true power comes not from controlling others or the world, but from mastering yourself. So as you step forward from this moment, carry this truth with you. Chaos is inevitable, but peace is a choice. You can't stop the storms from coming, but you can be the one who stands calm and steady in the middle of them. Start each day with intention. Protect your energy. Breathe deeply. Speak with care. Listen fully. And when challenges arise, remember to ask, what is this here to teach me? The world desperately needs more calmness, more strength, more people who lead not with fear, but with clarity and compassion. Be that person. Let your calm become a light in the darkness, a reminder to others that even in the wildest chaos, peace is possible. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need everything to be settled before you begin. You can start right now, exactly where you are. Choose calm today, and again tomorrow, and the day after that. With every choice, you'll build a life that feels unshakable, one filled with strength, clarity, and quiet confidence. The storms will come, the noise will rise, but deep within you, there will be a stillness that nothing can touch. And from that stillness, you'll discover that true calm is not just about surviving chaos. It's about thriving in the middle of it, and inspiring others to do the same. Your calm is